Romancing the Dungeon is intended for mature audiences, as this show contains adult themes. Not those kind of adult themes, just sensitive stuff that some audience members may find upsetting. Content warning for specific episodes can be found in episode descriptions.
Tell me why I'm so alone when I know you're here with me.
You're listening to Romancing the Dungeon, a softcore D&D podcast about heroes navigating their daily lives while looking for love in a world full of peril, monsters, and heartbreakers.
Are you lonely, miserable, or just plain horny? Well, you've taken the first steps to solving your problems, or at least your dating ones. Welcome to D8. Devoted, desired, dreamy or dirty. Dapper dates for dejected daters. My name is Roz Graypurse, founder, CEO, and love wizard. Our questionnaire continues. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I always wanted to be a singer. Ever since I was a little girl.
Could you speak up, love?
I wanted to be a singer ever since I was a little girl.
Wow.
It's the morning after the attack on the Flatstone estate, and we move to the upstairs of the Copper Rabbit, and Clodagh, there's a crack of light just sort of breaking through some curtains, and it kind of landing in that really annoying, like it's just on your face, and it's and you move. And as you do, you feel kind of a weight in the bed beside you.
I'm just going to turn my head and look at him and then just try and sneak out of the bed as quietly as possible.
You turn and you see Nate. And then you see like a pile of your clothes on the floor.
Nice.
Come on!
Nate says give me a stealth check.
17.
You've done this before, Miss Meadow Moon.
It's my first time.
Get me out of here! You kind of roll onto one side and then kind of continue that momentum, just kind of like as trying to be as quiet and as deftly and as soft as you can be. Nate is dead to the world, and you were able to kind of grab your clothes, throw them on. It's coming back to you. There was the attack last night. They went to rescue Eugenia and Nana and Rash, and there was the party in the Copper Rabbit, and you had you were so busy kind of getting pink drinks served, and then Marilla told you just let people take what they wanted, and and you grabbed Nate and you kissed him, and one thing kind of led to another. And as you reach for the door, looking back over your shoulder again, you see him like he's kind of pulled the blankets up. You turn the doorknob slightly. It rattles in your hand. It's as if everything you're doing is trying to make noise, and you're trying to muffle it as much as you can. And you slip out of the door, kind of half turning, still holding the doorknob, grabbing the other side of it, twisting that so you just don't want to wake him up. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, Jesus. Wow, way to take a long time there, internet. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Take your time.
Shut the fuck up. You're asleep.
Stay in character. You're breaking the illusion for
13.
Something feels. It's just like something kind of like feelings kind of start to bubble up, And right now you just don't want to think about them, so you kind of push them away. And as you pull the door closed, you turn, and looking up at you, you just hear a wee.
Oh, hi. Hi. Marilla.
Uh-huh. What you little bastards doing in there?
Nothing.
Better have been nothing, not my roof. Not unmarried.
No.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. She just... she grabs you by the arm and she leads you downstairs. Come on. My mate's sleep. He just sleep. Yeah, he's dead to the world in there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Was he snoring?
Yeah.
I don't need to know those details. I don't.
She leads you kind of down the stairs. The copper rabbit is in an absolute state. There are people passed out everywhere. McGucket is just kind of sprawled over like a table, and you can just see the crack of his arse. And I can just are like putting like forks of things. And Marilla kind of gives it like, hey, and I just say, what? Like,
My turn next.
and I just kind of stutters and just like, oh my god. Marilla's like, she's not even tiptoeing over people, she's just walking over people. And she kind of leads you into the back kitchen. This is, it's equally as messy because like Marilla was like, I cook for everybody. And she attempted to cook last night for everybody. It looks like a souffle exploded in here. There's food stuck to the wall, the ceiling. It's like she used every utensil and every tray and every bowl, and then I was like, I'll just put it in the sink to soak. And everything has kind of half filled with like
Soapy
water. Yeah. It's like,
Lovely.
yeah. And she pulls out a chair.
Do you want me to start cleaning?
Oh, yeah. But like, not now.
Oh.
So,
So...
how you feeling?
Confused.
Oh.
I mean, happy,
Oh, okay.
but confused.
We had to talk, though, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I remember. We don't need to do that again.
Are you sure I still got the pictures?
No, please. I'm good. I don't really know. There's a lot of emotions right now. It wasn't like I thought it would be.
Okay.
It was good.
Maybe we just start cleaning up.
Okay, that would be great.
Don't let, emotions cloud all that, and spare the details, please. I've seen that boys took us way too many times, and I don't need to know about it.
A couple of hours pass and people start to wake up. A few people try to order it. McGucket is just fishing cutlery out of his pants. Marilla tried to get like a kind of a small wine glass, like a stem, kind of perched in it. It didn't, and it broke. And she's like, whatever. She's kind of giving you a hand to kind of clean up and kind of get things organized. Give me a roll of a d20 and roll twice.
A 10 and an 11.
Oh, she also got a 10. You've seen the copper rabbit in some states. It's bad. This is a whole new level of chaos and just disorganization, and even people are leaving, and like one fella tried to walk out with a chair. He was like, no, I came here with this. And her head's a little foggy as the hangover kind of starts to settle in, and Marilla with a hangover is not something most want to be around. Tolerant is not a word we would use for Marilla at the best of times, but halfway through the kind of the cleaning, and your process is to just kind of stack everything in one pile and start to make that a small pile. And give me a persuasion check as Ike and Jess.
Oh, God. 10.
You try to kind of create like a little game for Ike and Jess that, who can stack it higher. And Jess starts, and then Ike's like, no, that's stupid. We're going outside. And she takes Jess by the arm, and like Jess is like, but this stinks. And she's like, bye. And she and Marilla's like, and she's just kind of, she's now kind of on the bar, and she's just got her head kind of like she's holding it, and she's like, oh, the things last night, oh God, it's starting to come back to me, oh God. Clodagh, can you be a dear and pop to the alchemists for me and just, tell them it's for one of Marilla's headaches. They'll know.
Okay, something for a hangover. Got it.
No, it's just one of my powerful migraines that comes on after a serious night of drinking.
Oh, yeah, that's totally different.
You're a good girl, Clodagh. And she takes some money from the cash box. Oh, we still have a cash box, don't we?
Let me check.
You see Ike kind of putting a hand into it. I think she just looks up at you and she takes her touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you take a little bit and you head out of the Copper Rabbit with the promise that Marilla is going to keep bleeding. The Copper Rabbit is located in Barefoot Alley in kind of the slums district, and you're close enough to the markets that you could duck and weave through some of the smaller alleyways, but it's actually quite a really nice late morning, early afternoon, and the air is really crisp and you can just see kind of the light from the sun glistening off of the lake to your right. As you kind of meander down through the streets, you can still, just over the tops of some of the smaller buildings here, you can just see the hill where the Flatston estate once was, and there's still a plume of smoke. And as you are moving through all of these little back alleyways, you find yourself catching glances and people are whispering and talking.
Do I hear what they're saying?
You can give me an old perception check.
16.
You just people saying that's she's Marilla's girl. She should ask her now. She might know. She might have a bit of a scoop on what happened above. And no one's going to approach you because you are Marilla's girl, and no one's going to approach you. But people are curious to know what actually happened. There's people talking.
Yeah, she's not going to feed into any rumors.
The market square is extremely busy. McGucket's stall near the quill, the large tower in Tesrab, is empty, with a sign up on it that says "Gone fishing," and somebody has kind of scratched out "hangover." You see a couple of other stalls and a few familiar faces, and you recognise a halfling man by the name of Desi Bumblebrook, who is the greengrocer, or a greengrocer, and he seems to be lost in conversation with another figure that you recognise, a wood elf by the name of Alicia Haverman. Alicia sells crystals, incense and dream catchers that she makes herself. The two seem to be kind of almost lost in conversation when Alicia spies you and just kind of waves you over with a "Clodagh, good late morning. How does the day find you?"
Fine, thanks.
Let's go. Go on. You might know a little bit more about what's... And Desi just holds up the front of the Quill Herald, the Tesrab newspaper, and you just see in big, bold, black letters, "Flatston Estate in flattened state."
Brilliant.
That took way too long, by the way, to come up with.
Oh, wow, news travels fast around here.
Well, she kind of points at the big kind of the plume of smoke coming from the hill.
Well, I was busy last night, so I didn't actually get to hear much about what happened. All I know is that there was a fight, and we...
A fight? With who?
Oh.
You can tell us. We won't tell anybody. And Desi holds up his fingers and they're crossed. He's like, yeah, no, we won't tell anybody.
I don't know. It's not really my place to say.
But we're Clodagh, we're friends. And yeah. She kind of she shoves kind of a crystal towards you.
Ooh, pretty. Well, from what I understand, Norris is dead. There won't be any more happenings at the Flatstone Manor. I don't think there's anyone to rebuild it.
Well, there isn't really a Flatstone Manor to begin with. Do you know anything about Garthok? You know, the councilman that runs the markets and stuff like that? Is he... We've all heard...
Yeah, I think he's dead too. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I heard.
Oh. And, you know, Marilla's boy. He's not.
Oh no, he's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I saw him last night at the Copper Rabbit while I was working.
Give me a deception check.
Damn it. 19.
Ooh.
21.
Now, when you say he's fine, you mean he's fine.
He's fine.
Oh.
She's like profusely reddening.
Do I detect a bit of romance?
With me? No. Oh, no. Maybe? No.
No, she's just sweating. Like Desi doesn't.
Yeah, she starts fanning herself.
No, it's just the weather.
I love him.
It's off humid.
First close.
Oh, me jocks are sticking to me. And he actually he pulls the arse of his pants.
Yeah, no. We're good friends.
Oh, you can't lie to me, Clodagh.
Apparently not.
Or my crystals. And she holds one up, and it is kind of going.
What's that in your other hand?
A bullshit detector. Well, that's you have our word. My lips are sealed. I won't say a word to anybody. Jesse's like, but like that was the whole point, Doctor.
Yeah, please don't say anything, because I'm not sure how much of it is supposed to be common knowledge. Oh. I trust you guys though.
Oh. And like Jesse still has his fingers crossed. You can trust us. And they kind of, like, a customer kind of approaches Desi's stall and is like trying to haggle over onions. Alicia kind of walks back over to her stall. Nobody ever approaches Alicia's stall. And then you remember Alchemist. Oh. And it's been a while.
Shit. Yeah, so I'm just going to walk past Alicia's stall and say, thanks for the crystal. And then head towards the Alchemist.
That was 3 silver pieces.
Bye!
You make your way kind of down one of the central streets in Tesrab out towards the Ashgrove district. This is kind of like where like a lot of the blacksmith and masonries and stuff that would be, but they're kind of hinged between two buildings. There's a really kind of skinny 3-story shop. You found the Alchemists. It's just called Luna's High. As you step in, a rather flighty Ara Corcoran woman passes you, dressed in a caftan and like swinging a bag over her head in delight, babbling on about she can't wait to add it to her brews, and Babsy absolutely loves this flavour. Luna is just sitting behind the counter, again, a full cowl over her head and a little kind of snout sticking out from it.
Good afternoon. I'm here for Marilla's usual. Please.
The figure barely moves. They don't say anything. You're used to this. You hear a wooden drawer slide. Violently, something inside a bag shakes, and a little rolled paper bag drops on the counter in front of you.
Thank you. She didn't tell me how much it would be.
And then a little stubby hand holds up, and it's 5 fingers.
Gold, silver, bar, copper.
On silver, there's a thumbs up.
Yeah, so I just give it over to her.
As you put the silver down, they take the 5 silver coins and you head back out onto the streets. Give me another perception check.
16.
This road that you're on, the street that you're on, leads towards the western gate, one of the entrances and exits of the city. It's quite strange. You kind of had to almost do a double take, and you weren't quite sure if what you saw, but a carriage passes you. And inside it, you see a robed figure wearing a long furred mask, like a beak. The person who was on the front of it had kind of a similar mask, but kind of a stubbier kind of mouth or nose piece at the end of it. Give me a medicine check.
Natural 20.
Yeah, it comes to you straight away. You had studied, in your former life, a couple of months ago, before you left home, you had been learning about healing practices and medicine across disciplines. And one of the things you encountered was a plague mask, usually with poultices of herbs to ward off death and decay and even the smell. And as the carriage passes, a couple of soldiers flank either side of it, and a few passers-by are all kind of stopping, and it's kind of caught all their attention.
I just kind of look around at the nearest passerby and say, do you know where that's coming from?
Oh, they're talking about some sort of sickness out there in the west.
Okay, thank you. And she's getting kind of worried now because she knows what the mask means. So she's going to head back and tell Marilla.
You kind of just make a beeline, making note to avoid the market for fear of crossing Desi and Alicia again, who no doubt have other news from the day that they would bend your ear about. It's the best. It's one of the best things and one of the worst things about being a barmaid is that everyone tells you their sorrows. And Alicia and Desi know this. They'd frequently drink in the Copper Rabbit to try and get the goss on other people around them. And you never intentionally reveal things, but things slip out. Like, with the best of intentions, you accidentally say the wrong thing sometimes. You make kind of just a straight line for the Copper Rabbit. As you venture inside, you just hear, hop, 2, 3, 4, hop, 2, 3, 4. You see kind of a small little gaggle of urchins filing around the Copper Rabbit, around Marilla's just like, oh god, make it gap. And they are cleaning. And Ike is on a table with a little stick, banging it on the table in time. And then Ike just kind of looks at you and just gives you kind of a little, fat little thumbs up.
That's so cute. What are you doing? How did you...
We're playing a game. And she winks at you.
Oh. And she... Because she can't wink.
Oh, you...
Double blinks.
Okay. So the winner gets a silver piece.
Do they now?
They do.
And where's that silver piece coming from,
From
Ike?
the money box.
The money box that...
And the person who organised this is getting 2 silver pieces.
Oh, are they now?
Yes, they are.
That sounds like a very fun game.
It
very,
does.
Very valuable game.
Yeah, and I think I'm winning as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
How do you win?
You clean up fastest.
Okay. I'm going to... Is Marilla still at the bar?
Oh, yeah. Marilla is just kind of like rolling her head back and forth, trying to find a cool spot on the bar to like ease her head.
So, yeah, I'm going to bring her over the bag and plop it down in front of her gently to make no sudden movements.
Without lifting her head, her hand just starts kind of like trying to find the bag.
And nudge it over towards her.
Oh, praise. Oh, God, thank God. Okay. Oh, Clodagh, you're a bastard. You're my little bastard. And she takes the pouch and she just kind of gives it a big... Oh, yes, this stuff. Can you... water. Hot.
Yeah.
Please.
Sure. Go back and get some... Or boil the kettle. Stick the kettle on.
The kitchen is also full of children. They're scrubbing, they are washing, they are drying, they are stacking. Jess is losing. Jess is still holding a plate, and as you kind of are trying to get hot water, Jess is still holding the same plate and a dishcloth and trying to figure out where to put it. Bless him.
The clean ones go in the cupboard, sweetie.
He's looking around all the cupboards.
This one here. And she opens the door.
And then immediately, like, kind of like a swarm of street kids just rush towards the cupboard and start like putting loads of plates in, like crockery. And Jess is just like, I just want to win.
It's okay, sweetie. I'll help.
And then you just hear from the outside, Clodagh.
Sorry, coming.
And Marilla drops the little paper bag, the contents she opens, and she pours it straight in. There's definitely a powder, but something sinks, and then it kind of bobs up and down, and then it starts to break apart. Best guess, it looks like fat that's melting in the hot water. Bottoms up. And she tilts her head back, and she just, in one mouthful, she drinks the glass.
Clodagh gags.
Oh, yeah. Why is the bar full of bastards?
They're cleaning.
Okay.
Ike has assembled a team.
And what of that little bastard upstairs?
Oh, he's still here?
Why wouldn't he be?
I don't know. I thought maybe he'd want to go find the rest of his friends.
Oh, those bastards, they'll be around. They'll always, yeah.
Should... And she kind of cringes.
Yes, you should.
Oh, Okay. She's gonna head upstairs.
Okay.
Wait, I'll make some breakfast first.
Yeah, you head upstairs and you approach. It's your room, and you don't hear anything inside.
Oh, okay. She knocks awkwardly and then realizes it's her room and enters.
Nate is still unconscious in bed.
She's just gonna audibly clear her throat, and then when she gets no response, just be like, "Good morning, Nate." She's gonna stamp over to his side of the bed and just like loudly drop the plate. Nate, I made you breakfast.
Oh.
Do you want coffee, tea?
What? Sorry.
It's afternoon.
Sort of look around the room.
The room is very frilly.
Very what?
Frilly.
Frilly.
Yeah.
Coffee, please. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. How are you feeling?
Sore. From the fight.
Is that what you got?
In parentheses.
That's not what I meant, but okay. And she goes and gets some coffee. And then, just brings it over to him.
Thanks. Thank you for the food. It's very nice. Thank you.
Oh, it's fine. It's all I could make. There's a lot of ruckus downstairs. You might have heard it if you weren't so dead to the world.
Yeah, sorry. I'll get myself together. I'll get out of your hair. Sorry.
You don't have to go.
Okay.
I mean, if you want.
I suppose I'll finish my breakfast.
What are you doing? Nate's just kind of...
I'm just sitting at the end of the bed, like, watching him eat. Because I don't know what else to do.
Okay. A little bit of time passes, and there's a knock at the door. You bastards better be doing nothing in there.
I quickly jump up and, like, reef the door open.
Marilla's standing there like she's holding the copper rabbit. She did not have a glass in one hand.
You can come in if you like.
She barges right in. Literally. Yeah. So, you little bastard, eh? Coming back alive.
Sorry.
Hey. So what next?
I suppose I'll put some clothes on.
I suppose you will.
Clodagh goes red again.
Coming back here, making me all worried, getting me all bothered. Bastard.
And she's trying her best not to cry. She's literally
Marilla, are you okay?
push the tears back. Physically. Down the teardrop.
Oh, God. Are you okay?
Fine. I just got something in my eyes.
and she turns.
Clodagh, the kids are on about money you promised them downstairs.
I got it into her head that the winner got 2 silver pieces.
Well, go give them 2 silver pieces. I don't...
Okay. And she scurries out.
She shuffles herself a little bit, and then she kind of leans forward with the copper rabbit, and she just kind of pokes you.
Ow.
Good. You're alive. Very frilly.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, bit frilly.
Maybe you want to go to your own room. Give the girl back her space.
Yes. I
With clothes on.
And she kind of turns and kind of covers her eyes.
I'll get up and I'll just wrap the sheet around my waist and just sort of tuck it and then just like look at her awkwardly picking up my clothes and I'll just leave as I am.
Oh, God.
Beast.
And she'll follow up kind of behind you, closing the door.
Go rest. You're steady. Clumsy beast. Little head in you. Knock your block off.
And she takes a swing with the copper rabbit, but it's about like 4 feet wide.
You can, your room is, it's fine. It's over there. And you can Stay as long as you want, I suppose. And she moves down the end of the corridor. Love you, you bastard. and she kind of just waddles downstairs. Clodagh, you're left to wrangle the children. Marilla's headache it's being dealt with, but she doesn't really have the energy to be doing a whole pile for the rest of the day. As the evening kind of drags on, and it's quiet, the bar is very quiet. You don't see Nate for the rest of the evening. When you go back up to your room, he's not there.
Where's my sheet?
Your sheet's missing. Your sheet's missing, and there's a tray with a plate with
Wow,
bacon fat and a small little ceramic cup with just the dregs of a cup of coffee in it. And you kind of move it to one side, and you have to redress your bed. That's kind of how things go for the next week or so. Nate more or less spends it in bed, recovering, exhausted, tired. But yeah, just weary kind of from all of it. Marilla, sensing your trepidation or even your anxiety, tries to assure you that it's going to be okay, that he just needs a little bit of time. He almost died, for Christ's sake. Marilla's kind of starting to look a little bit better in herself even after the attack in the warehouse. She's kind of getting back into her stride and seeing the place kind of devoid of stock. You are summoned early one Saturday morning, and as you arrive downstairs, Nate's standing there and Marilla just has a list and she's kind of waving it in his face. I told you, for the 10th time. Cherry dwarf whiskey. That's what they want.
Yeah, sorry, cherry dwarf whiskey, yeah.
Clodagh. And she just she's looking past Nate. She kind of looks at you. Take the list. Take the schmuck with you as well.
Okay. Can I have some money?
Just tell him to put it on my tab.
That didn't work the last time.
Oh, yeah, you have to pay off those. She reaches for the cash box and she takes out 50 gold pieces. Okay, just whatever you get on the list for this.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
You're heading to you're further into the warehouse district, so they're kind of neighbours the slum district, and Marilla's usual suppliers and stuff like that are around. There, as you pass one warehouse, there appears to be some sort of investigation. You see several guards, and they're carting out a headless body. The warehouse looks to be quite old and dilapidated, and from one far end of the street, you just see a rather pompous looking elf giving out about oh, it's just one body, this isn't going to affect the resale value, is it? And kind of querying what a guard who's just kind of rolling her eyes as Ezra Gardner III berates her for something that isn't even her fault. You make your way kind of down through this kind of crowd that's kind of gathered, and there you just see a small little warehouse, several barrels and casks stacked out the front and boxes. Just overhead, you just see Gregor's cask kind of emblazoned on the sign, and it's Marilla's usual supplier. He's kind of a crusty old man, but Marilla loves him.
Hi, Gregor.
What?
Sorry. I have a list from Marilla.
Do you have time?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
There we go. Yeah, that's the first thing we should have led with then, Clodagh. Okay?
Sorry.
Miss Marilla's tab is very, very, so long. And he just takes out a packet of invoices.
I'm sorry. She told me to send some apologies, and here's 50 gold pieces.
Is she unwell?
No, not more unwell than normal.
It's just so out of character for her to apologize.
Right. Yeah, I might have made that up.
That makes more sense. And who's this? And he gestures.
Oh, this is Nate.
Oh, that Nate.
What Nate?
Just this Nate. It's just Nate, my friend Nate. Just Nate.
Marilla's Nate.
Oh yeah, Marilla's Nate.
Ah, that's the one that Alicia was saying that you very much
Jesus.
have the.
She just buries her head in her hands and goes puce.
So can we get this order in, or we don't really have time for chit chat.
Clodagh just looks at him horrified. Don't be so rude. I'm so sorry about that.
I really don't really know how to expect. I assumed an associate of Marilla's to be as pleasant and as loving and as caring as she is. And he just kind of, he snags the list from you, Clodagh. He kind of looks it up and down. I'll just put it with the rest of the packet. And he just starts kind of like, and he kind of clicks his fingers and two burly lads kind of come out and just start grabbing stuff off the list and putting it into a cart.
So, how's business?
It's good.
That's good.
She's literally doing everything she can to not talk to Nate because he's been not talking to her.
How's your business?
Fine. It's, everyone's happy that Norris is dead, I guess.
He was a prick. They say not to speak ill of the dead, but he spits on your shoe. Oh, my apologies. I didn't see what big feet you have.
Clodagh blushes again.
It's okay. I sort of just dig my foot into the ground and sort of wipe his spit off. So is this going to take much longer, or how are we fixed?
It will take time. Take the young lady for a drink or whatever it is you young people like to do these days.
That's okay.
Smoke a pipe or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, look, we'll be back in, let's say, an hour.
Very generous with your time. No? The folly of youth. And he starts to rattle on about, like, in his day, you wouldn't be doing that kind of stuff with your time. But yeah, you're free to roam.
Okay. I suppose I'll sort of walk ahead, sort of leading. And maybe after a little while, and it gets more awkward, and waiting for someone to break the silence, I sort of turn and say, sorry if I embarrassed you back there. I didn't mean to.
That's okay. He didn't seem to take it badly. I guess he's used to Marilla.
Yeah.
She's just kind of looking at her feet.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I just haven't seen that much of you lately, and kind of missed you.
Soz.
That's my boy.
Yeah. She's just gonna like, Hephaesta was right.
Wherever I am, I feel that.
The tattoo on your arm. You go Super Saiyan.
Look, we don't have to be weird. We can just...
Excuse me, sir, do you want to buy a rose for the lady? And a little girl just kind of walks up to you with like a bushel of like a bouquet of flowers.
I look to Clodagh to see.
She just shakes her head.
No, thank you.
Smooth move, Romeo. She just shrugs her shoulders and kind of gives you a look. Dump him. And she just struts off.
That was adorable.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough couple of weeks.
Hear ye, hear ye. Romantic cruises of Lake Capulet now on sale. Special discounted offer. Get it while it's hot. Hear ye, hear ye.
Clodagh's just gonna...
Nate, this doesn't have to be weird. We can just go back to being friends and, pretend that night never happened. If that's what you want.
It did happen, though.
Well, it feels like it didn't.
I don't know if I necessarily go as far as say as I didn't want it to happen or Look, I'm sorry. I don't know if I gave the wrong signals, or I don't know if I wasn't talking to you because I didn't want to talk to you. I wasn't talking to you because I've just been recovering.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I guess, with everything that happened, it was just our emotions got the better of us, and we'll just chalk it up to experience and move on.
Hephaesta,
He has a type.
out of the corner of your eye, Clodagh, you just see one of the burly men from Gregor's give you kind of a wave.
Oh, thank God. We should head back.
If that's what you want, then
But what do you want, Nate?
yeah, let's just pick up the order.
You head back to the Copper Rabbit, kind of wheeling the cart back. Marilla she's there and she's behind the counter and she's cleaning some glasses, and Ike and Jess are in a corner. Ike is teaching Jess how to read. Marilla just kind of gives you both kind of a look, her eyes kind of flitting between the both of you.
I pull out a bottle of that cherry dwarf whiskey, and I go to my room.
Marilla's whole body just kind of like, she just sighs with all of it. Like, it's just, shakes her head, and she goes back to just cleaning. She doesn't say anything to either of you. The distance between the both of you, the kind of the awkwardness only grows. Clodagh, one evening as you were closing up your covering for Nate, he has had another bottle of cherry dwarf.
You're not my mom.
You had hoped to get out that evening and go to a small little place down by the lake shore. It's where you kind of go to just de-stress and relax. You're busy out kind of serving customers all evening, and just as time passes and you get ready to close, Marilla kind of just hops up on a stool across from you at the bar, and then just kind of pats the seat beside you. We have to have a talk, girlie.
About what?
How about the shitstorm of tension you and that little bastard upstairs have been running?
I'm sorry. I tried to talk to him, but it just made things worse, I think.
That's the number one rule, Clodagh. Men don't talk.
Well, I know that now.
You want me to have a word with him?
I don't even know what I want you to say.
Oh, I've got a few things I'll say to that little bastard.
And she puts the Copper Rabbit on top of the bar.
You don't have to do that. It's fine.
What do you want then? Do you love him?
I don't know that.
Do you like him?
Not right now. But maybe. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, God. Why are young people so stupid?
And she just starts kind of rubbing her forehead.
It's simple, Clodagh. If you like him, tell him.
I thought I already did.
I'll go back to point one. Men are stupid.
But I kissed him first.
Honey, he's upstairs kissing a bottle of whiskey right now.
Fine. I'll try kissing him again.
Okay. Oh.
I don't know what.
Will I get the book?
No, please, God, no.
You don't have to kiss him.
Okay.
Tell him how you feel about him. Maybe not here. Maybe the two of you go out and you have a date.
So I should ask him out on a date and tell him there. Good.
She hops down off the stool, kind of grabbing the Copper Rabbit as she does, and she just kind of gives you a little kind of pat on the back, and she rubs you.
Oh, sweetie.
And she just walks away.
Yeah, Clodagh's just going to finish closing up the bar, and then she'll head upstairs to Nate's room.
Just give me kind of a quick investigation check.
11.
You kind of give the the bar floor, kind of a quick kind of glance over, and then kind of the kitchen, and you see that not only did he not cover his shift this evening, he didn't do the stuff he'd said he'd do in the morning, which was like take out all the trash and put out the empties and stuff like that. So you now have to do that. As you stand there kind of getting everything ready, you open up the back gate to the Copper Rabbit, leading out onto a small side street, putting stuff out there to be collected, and you almost collide with that Fia girl, that happy little... She's Nate's friend. Like, she's the happy little elf. Yeah. Happy little Clodagh elf. And she's the exact same. I mean, you haven't seen her in a month, but nothing, or even longer, but nothing has changed. Like, literally, she spoke a mile a minute at you. She tells you about her mom. You didn't even know she had one. I mean, you assumed she had one, but she tells you as if this is something you would have been partial to, and that she's back, and that her brother's running for the council, and you remember seeing some of his posters, and she's erratic, and she's on about it. She says something about a dinner party, and to tell Nate, and to invite Marilla, and to just get everybody there, that it's happening in a couple of nights, and she'll see you at the house, and she can't wait to see everybody, and for everyone to meet her mom. You head back in, and you lock up, and you're upstairs in your room.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head over to Nate's room.
Hello.
Oh God. Can I come in?
Okay,
Are you dressed?
partially.
Yeah, that's good enough. Just walk in.
The pong out of the room. He hasn't left it in a couple of days. There's a couple of empty bottles of whiskey and just kind of glasses and delf kind of collecting on a small side table.
I'm dressed from like it's just pants, like,
Okay.
and then sort of my loot strapped on. I take a swig of the whiskey and I put it down and I just start sort of noodling on the guitar and be like, all good?
Yeah. She's just kind of taking in the surroundings and she's like, do I really want to have this conversation right now? And she's just like, so, I just saw Fia. Outside. She's Fia. She found her mom.
Oh, sweet, cool.
Yeah, and she invited us to a dinner party to meet her in a couple days.
Cool. Yeah.
Is that something you'd want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she told me to invite Marilla as well, so it's not like it would be a date or anything. Listen, speaking of dates, I was wondering if maybe you'd want to do something sometime. You know, a real date, maybe.
With me?
Yeah, with you.
Changed your tune a bit, didn't you?
Well, Marilla told me I should just tell you how I feel, so I like you, and maybe we should just try once more.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah? Like, yeah?
You're the boss, applesauce.
Oh my god. Maybe I should have this conversation
There's
when
just
you're
a
not
banging
drunk.
on the wall.
Shut up, you bitch! I'm just saying yes. God, sick, I'm trying to get my beat to sleep. You both have the night off tomorrow night. Just piss off the bed.
Okay, so tomorrow then? I'll meet you at the docks. Good night, Nate.
You go to bed. Occasionally you hear the odd kind of like note plucked on a string. There's a banging on your wall that you're just blissfully ignoring, Nate. But the bar falls silent and the living quarters upstairs grows quiet too. The night goes by. It's the following day, and Marilla sends you out to Clodagh to get a few things. You've told her about the dinner party. You've reminded Nate about your date later on this evening on the docks to meet there, and you're gonna go on a date, whatever that is. She sends you out to Nina's Ironsmiths. She's kind of got it into her head that she's going to do some sewing. the day is fairly uneventful. You, after reminding Nate and getting a grunt through the door, you don't really see him later in the evening as you kind of get dressed. What are you wearing?
She's just going to wear like a simple purple summer dress and maybe twist some flowers into her antlers.
You head down to the docks. You told Nate you were going to meet him there, not that you were to go there together. Mm-hmm. You find yourself standing there for a couple of minutes, and at one stage you thought you saw somebody come by that looked like him, but it wasn't. The air starts to get a bit colder. The dress you're wearing wouldn't be particularly appropriate for the season that you're in, because it's kind of late autumn, kind of coming into the winter months. And with little to no kind of cloud cover, it just gets cold very quickly, and then a wind kind of picks up and you feel it kind of cut through you a small bit. And that's kind of the thing that is kind of getting to you the most, is that you kind of feel like you can feel time passing, and what was 5 minutes became 15, became an hour, and you can literally just see across the surface of Lake Capulet just the moon, and as it's rising, it's just kind of a reflection. And Nathaniel doesn't show up. That's it for this week's episode. You were listening to Amber as Hephaesta, Sam as Nathaniel Obsidian McKnight, Louise as Fia, James as Kyle, and special guest Eilish as Clodagh Medamoon. A big thank you, as always, to Ghost of Red Mountain for our amazing theme song Haunted. Make sure you check out their YouTube channel. I'm Declan, your Dungeon Master. We're back in 2 weeks for another episode. Until then, why not check out our Discord server, D8 Dungeon? You can back the show for some sweet rewards on Patreon, leave us a heartfelt review wherever you listen to your podcasts, or tweet us your thoughts and emotions at D8 Dungeon.
Tell me why I'm so alone when I know you're here with me.
Oh, that was hard.
Middle of the night, you hear the door open and really just beats the shit out of it.
No, please, not again.